What's going on, everybody? It's Ndukauba, and today I'm actually here to talk about my hands-on experience with the Nintendo Switch, because just a few days ago, I actually had the opportunity to go to New York and try out the Nintendo Switch. Also, shout out to Nintendo for inviting me because that was freaking awesome. But yeah, I really wanted to just sit down and give you guys my overall thoughts on the Nintendo Switch, because obviously not many people have gotten their hands on it. And I'm fairly certain that people are curious as to the ins and outs of the Switch. So that's what I'm going to be talking about right now. So first things first is obviously the Switch itself. And it's safe to say that the quality of materials that they actually use to make obviously the Switch, the dock, and the controllers, the Joy-Cons, are actually pretty solid, because when I first saw it, I thought it was going to be like some sort of cheap quality, or I thought it wouldn't feel as premium as it should, but it actually does. The dock is fairly sturdy. The Switch itself, as well as the Joy-Cons, all feel they were made with premium materials. It's not like some sort of like cheap crap, or like the controller's like some sort of cheap plastic, or whatever the case may have been. And on top of that, with the Joy-Con itself, the Joy-Cons are actually a lot more comfortable than I thought they would be, because me personally, I have like really big hands. So when I first saw the Joy-Con, I thought it was going to be like this super small controller that was going to be extremely uncomfortable for me when I use it. However, surprisingly, it felt so natural to use. And the prime example, which I'm probably going to show you guys in this video, is when I was playing Mario Kart, and I had the Switch Joy-Con in my hand, and I was playing it as if I've been using the controller my entire life. Like, it felt so easy just to pick up and just play the game. Because a lot of people have been making jokes saying that, you know, the controllers are so small, how are you going to like play games with it with other people? Because it seems like it just wouldn't feel right. But rest assured, it actually feels really good to play with the Joy-Con itself. It's actually pretty solid. I was fairly impressed with the fact that I was able to just pick it up and play it as if I've been using it like my entire life. Next is the Switch in undocked mode, or handheld mode. And everybody tries to compare that with the gamepad, because it's safe to say that that's where the basis of it came from. And when I first saw, you know, the Switch in handheld mode, I thought that it would have, you know, some weight to it, you know, but surprisingly, it's fairly light. I think the main reason is because obviously the Joy-Cons themselves are light, but the actual system itself, which is the screen, is actually really light as well. It's fairly thin, and I don't even know what else to say more than that. Like, it's the light, it feels proper in the hand. It's not flimsy either, because also some people thought that, you know, with the Joy-Cons, they would probably like slide off of the console or whatever the case may have been. But no, like when you're playing it, the Joy-Cons are in there locked nice and tight. It's fairly like light, so it's not like you're gonna have like so much weight holding you down while you play, which is good, because obviously if you're also promoting it as a handheld, you want to make sure it's light enough for you to carry. So also the experience on handheld mode was not that bad, except for one thing, and that was when I was playing The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, because first and foremost, that game looks absolutely gorgeous, and unfortunately I wasn't able to get any footage of the game, but the game looks absolutely amazing. In docked mode, it looks really, really nice, but when you undock it, I think the only problem is that there are occasional frame rate drops. I know in particular, like when I was going down a mountain, or not a mountain, going down a hill, the frame rate of the game kind of dropped, and it was fairly noticeable. So I think if they can fix up frame rate issues, then it'll be perfectly fine. But regardless of that fact, in handheld mode, it is a really good experience. I mean, 720p 60, that's not bad by any means whatsoever. And yeah, I think a lot of people are going to enjoy the fact that, you know, they can actually take their console on the go and know that it's not going to break easily. Now let's talk about the Pro Controller. And it's safe to say that this was probably one of the best controllers I have held in my life, because me personally, of this console generation, my favorite controller is the DualShock 4, the PS4 controller. But when I held the Switch Pro Controller, oh my lord, it was such an amazing feeling. And I first got to try it out while playing Ultra Street Fighter 2, and it felt so perfect. Like, I can't even describe properly like how the controller felt. It's just, it felt right. Like, for the games that I used it for, it just felt right. Like Ultra Street Fighter 2, I was playing it as if I've used the controller my entire life. Splatoon 2. Don't even get me started on Splatoon 2. Like, the Pro Controller was made for Splatoon 2. Like, or Splatoon 2 was actually made for the Pro Controller. It's such a great feeling. Like, it's not cheap quality on the controller at all. It fits extremely comfortably on your hand as well. Everything is fairly responsive. It was such a great controller to use. I would definitely recommend, if anybody is trying to, or even thinking about getting a Pro Controller, definitely cop one. It was such a good experience. Now let's talk about some of the games that I played. And I know that I listed some earlier, but I do want to reiterate on the games that I actually played during the event. So the games that were available were 1-2 Switch, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Splatoon 2, ARMS, Sonic Mania, the new Bomberman game, and I think another game I completely forgot. I know Disgaea was there, Just Dance was there, and there were a few others. I mean, I didn't get to play them all because, you know, the room was full of people, but there was quite a bit of games out there for a lot of people to play. And with the exception of the frame rate drop in Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild in handheld mode, a lot of the games looked amazing. It played smoothly. The experience was actually good, especially when I was playing Splatoon 2, because I thought that it was just going to be like, you know, a copy and paste of Splatoon, which honestly isn't bad because Splatoon itself is a good game. But even just playing like 8-player local multiplayer was actually a really awesome experience. Like, it was so smooth. I mean, we don't have to worry about LAN cables or like anything of the sort. You just bring your Switch and you're good to go. And on top of that, it was like a mixture of like people playing on the screen and then people playing on handheld mode. And it was so seamless, it was so smooth, it was awesome. The gameplay of Splatoon 2 is also a bit more refined because I honestly think that Splatoon could have been a better game if the main focus wasn't on the gamepad. And that's exactly what Splatoon 2 does, because the main controller, aside from, you know, the actual, you know, Switch itself with the Joy-Cons, is the Pro Controller. And it's safe to say that, again, that is how Splatoon 2 was meant to be played. That's how Splatoon should have been meant to be played, because it was a better experience. Like, the map has been switched onto a button, which is X button. You know, you can jump to other points by pressing A, all that stuff. Motion control on the Pro Controller was really good as well. It was awesome. Like, I definitely do recommend Splatoon 2. Again, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, great experience, made for the Wii U, but it's perfect for the Switch in its entirety. Even the I guess it's like the Switch wheel, I guess, similar to what the Wii wheel was, but it's a much more comfortable experience and definitely easier to utilize than what the Wii wheel ever was. Definitely smooth graphics, if I'm not mistaken, 1080p 60. New characters as well, because we already know of King Boo. The Inklings are in the game. Dry Bones is in the game. Bowser Jr. is in the game. It's awesome. Like, new carts. We got to play on the new Splatoon stage as well for the battle mode. Awesome experience. Enjoyed every single moment of it. It was, oh my god, it was so much fun. And on top of that, the fact that you can now have 2 items, it's sort of reminiscent to Double Dash, except, you know, instead of having 2 characters in one cart, it's just your character. So yeah, I really like the route that they went with Mario Kart 8. And I'm gonna be playing the crap out of the game when it launches. Oh my lord. I've already talked about Zelda, but just to reiterate, again, gorgeous game, runs extremely smooth except for the occasional frame rate drops. I enjoyed the fact that, you know, it's just a vast world where you can either continue the story or you can just go off and do whatever you feel like doing and still have a fairly enjoyable time. So Zelda is definitely going to be a game that I pick up on day one, seeing that it does release on day one. But yeah. But the one game that I wanted to talk about the most is ARMS. Now, I know a lot of people had mixed feedback about ARMS because they're like, oh, this game doesn't seem that fun. Oh, this game is like a childish game. Oh, this game is just gonna die out after like a few weeks or so. No, like, people have honestly been giving ARMS like unwarranted negative feedback because I kid you not, that game was easily one of the best games that was on the show floor. Easily, like next to Splatoon, Zelda, and Mario Kart, everybody was playing ARMS. That's how good that crap was. I found myself going back over and over and over again, trying to play ARMS because it was that addictive. Like, I think the best way I can describe it is Wii Sports Boxing done correctly. Like, you're not like stationary, like you get to move around, jump, dash, use special attacks, different types of arms that you can use to fight with. It is, oh my god, it's such an awesome experience. And the best thing about it is, it's sort of like there's a learning curve. It's easy to pick up, but it's hard to master because of the learning curve. Because in ARMS, there are 3 actions or 3 main actions that you can do. You can block, you can grab, and you can attack. And obviously because of that, there's like an attack triangle. Like, for example, grabs beat out block, blocks beat out attacks, and attacks beat out grabs, and etc, etc. So it honestly got like super competitive. Like, I had matches with people, which you guys will actually see in a vlog that I'll upload soon. And yeah, we're just going at it. Like, every time we're like, oh crap, run that back. Or if I want, hey, like, you want to have another match? Like, that's how good the game was. Like, I seriously, if anybody's getting the Switch, do not sleep on ARMS. ARMS is a really good game, and I know that a lot of people will definitely enjoy it. All in all, I would definitely like to say that the experience I had with the Nintendo Switch at the event was definitely a fantastic one. I have no regrets whatsoever. Like, all the doubts that I had about the Switch, except for, you know, the frame rate drop in Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, has been knocked out. Like, it definitely blew my expectations. I enjoyed every single moment of the event. Again, shout out to Nintendo for inviting me to the event, because that's definitely a once in a lifetime opportunity. There was no way I was gonna miss it. And again, it was such an awesome time playing the Nintendo Switch. I recommend anybody who's interested or remotely interested to definitely go and pre-order it. Give it a shot. They're going to be going around to more cities as well. So if you missed out in the one in New York, then it may come down to your town and you might be able to play out the Switch or test out the Switch when it comes through, and then you'll have your own opinions on it as well. So yeah, the event was awesome. The games were freaking great. The Switch itself was freaking dope. I definitely recommend it. I already pre-ordered mine, and I'm gonna be like John when it releases. But nonetheless, that is my take on the Nintendo Switch. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But nonetheless, that is the end of this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Of course, if you did, please like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at NDukaubaYT. And if you want to stay updated for all the videos I upload, don't forget to ring my bell. As always, thanks for watching. See you guys later.